going on, man?
Well, it's Tuesday, which means it's news day. And boy, do I got a doozy for us today. Let's start from the beginning. A few years ago, there was a baker who didn't want to make a cake for a gay couple. And actually went to court and won her case because of her religious beliefs. But that was a small win. It wasn't a blanket thing.
It wasn't about a real situation either.
No, it was. It was.
Well, I didn't think that actually happened. I mean,
Yeah.
Either way, it's still stupid.
It was a small win. Then, fast forward to this year, and there's a web maker, a web designer, who goes to court, to the Supreme Court, I believe, because she did not want to design a wedding website for a gay couple.
Right.
It was against her religious beliefs. That, turns to find out, is complete lie. No one ever asked her to make one. She's never even made a wedding website.
Yeah, I think that's what I was confused by. That was that story you're talking about. Yeah.
She never made a wedding website for anyone. And there was no couple that asked her to. The person that she said asked her was actually married and had no idea his name was being used in the lawsuit or in the court case.
Wow.
And of course, the Supreme Court said, "Oh yeah, that's your free speech because you're creative. Anyone who's in a creative occupation has the right to deny who they want to partake in their product."
I suppose that's true too. If I didn't want to make something, whatever. I don't know. I don't agree with the discriminatory makeup of that.
But because of religion. Because of religion.
A weak excuse because the religious aspect would welcome it.
They said because it's against her beliefs, she doesn't have to.
Right, but her beliefs would welcome that, would allow that. So she's not even interpreting her beliefs correctly. That's a
fast forward to last week. Michigan. Studio 8 Salon. The owner puts on Facebook that they will not allow trans people in their business. And actually said, if you're a trans person and need a haircut, you might be better off going down the street to the pet groomer.
I heard that. Oh, man. Yeah, it's messed up.
And she's claiming she has the right to do that because she doesn't agree with what they do. And so because the other woman who lied about her case and won, that gives her the right to deny gay people. Not gay people. She said only trans people. She doesn't mind gay and lesbian. It's the trans that bother her.
Yeah, well, the Supreme Court opened up that box.
But here's the question. Legally, do you think that she can get away with calling cutting hair a creative venue?
Yep, absolutely.
Really?
Well, yeah, I mean, do you think any two haircuts are the same? And how much of their own thought go into how they scoped it to make it around this person's ear that they can't see, or the back of their neck that they can't see? They have to get it right. They have to be creative to make it fit the lines that they see. So yeah, I think that's
So what happens when? Because right now they're picketing outside. They were picketing and protesting outside her shop. And her response was basically, I don't care because I have basically a closed clientele who are faithful to my business, so it's not going to affect them at all.
In my opinion, I think the only things that I believe that should apply to are like, if you wanted to make a anatomically correct wedding cake, okay, yeah, I could see somebody not wanting to make that. But there are places you can go to have someone make that.
Oh,
They
absolutely.
exist. So that's where, see, they have a niche. Here, I won't make it, but hey, you know what? Down the street. But in this situation, where just the fact that person that's paying for this order, it's not even about what is on it's a friggin' cake with some words on it. That's it. There's nothing weird about making that product. It's the fact that a gay or whatever case trans person wanted that item. They said no, and that to me is bullshit.
Well, see, here's where I start to think outside the box a little bit and go, this really is shitty. How can we make it look even shittier? So I've come up with this. Technically, what she's doing
should take care of that.
Technically, what she's doing is a hate crime. And why do I say that? Because of her comment on Facebook, telling them to go to a pet groomer.
I think it's a stretch.
Telling trans people to go to a pet groomer shows that she has animosity towards that specific group. Not that she doesn't agree with it, but she has hatred towards it. She didn't say go to another shop or find someone who more accommodating. She said go to a pet groomer, go to basically go to an animal.
At most, that's an insult. I don't see that as there's no hate crime in that, man. At least not, because talking about the law here. Yeah.
I'm sure they could make it out of that.
Yeah, I know, but they kind of, with the Supreme Court decision, it makes it really challenging to get a case like that because of that decision. That's why it needs to be overturned. So you need to get a judge to overturn that other judge's decision. Is what you need to do, or the other court's decision, or in some cases their own decision, by something new. The only thing you can do is try, but who knows if they'll even take the case. They can just not even take it. And so that law stands, therefore, those people are not held accountable. And they should be for discrimination at minimum. Hate crime, I think it's a stretch no matter which way you slice it. Discrimination? Absolutely. Totally discrimination. You frozen, dude? You look like you're asleep.
Yep.
It couldn't have frozen at a better moment.
Yeah, lucky me. Let's fix this. Dude.
Oh, there he is.
Oh, there I am. Way too close.
You bet.
Camera 2, please. Thank you. So, this happened in Michigan. And up until this year, up until the past couple of years, no one really hears a lot about Michigan. Now, all of a sudden, you've got a governor who was a victim of a kidnap plot.
Yeah, Whitmer.
You got this woman who feels that she could just, if she could discriminate against transsexuals. I'm sorry, transgender. I'm old. I use the old tech terminology. I apologize.
Cool. We're still figuring it out. It's all
right. If she can do that, then people can discriminate against any group and just claim that it's against my beliefs, my religious beliefs.
Oh, that's exactly, I believe, what they're doing. But I think we're finding ways to turn that against it too. Because there's a lot of them we could do the same thing to about, things we're trying to do. No, it's against my belief.
You're going to start to find a lot of water fountains that say whites only.
Something to that effect, yeah. That's what they want. They want, no trans allowed. So on, yeah. They might now, be into the gays, but the trans, boy, that's a bridge too far. Oh, yeah,
and now, Michigan is now in the books as indicting 16 co-conspirators to election interference. Mm-hmm. Because they found the 16 GOP personnel that met in the basement of the GOP headquarters, and all 16 signed a paper saying that they were the rightful electors and that they were giving their votes to Donald Trump for the state.
Can't do that.
Which was illegal because he didn't win the state. So
it doesn't matter. It was not within their right to do, period.
Oh yeah.
No.
It would have been if he had won the state.
Well, the electors, you have to remember, the original set of electors had the right to change their mind. That's what they're there for. If the people voted for Biden, they could have voted for Trump to say in the best interest of the people, we decided to do this. But that was the purpose of the electoral college, is to save us from making a potential mistake and voting in the wrong person. So we got lucky in this case. But now you have the false set of electors, because the original set wouldn't do that. You're sleeping then. Oh, no, you're there.
I'm here. I'm just listening intently. I like to be educated sometimes. See, I thought that if a Democrat won, there was one set of electors, and if a Republican won, there was another set of electors, and then they make the decisions depending on who won the state.
That part I'm not sure about, to be honest with you. I can't remember enough details to actually spout it all out. But I don't.
You know what a good way to find out is?
I don't think it's that way, though.
A great way to find out is to get one of these and read it.
Yeah.
I got one,
and I was right on the table in the other room.
I've been reading through it all day. Very interesting stuff you find in there. Very interesting stuff, indeed.
Look it up.
Okay. Well,
half hour later.
Oh, no.
You're right. There's some good stuff in there. And the thing is, it's not very big. It's not a tough book, if you want to look at it that way.
Okay, let's see. It's about impeachment. Six representatives. That's right. And then, so it's got to be here. Talks about how many representatives for each state. Agencies. It's funny because I was just reading about it.
Yeah, it's more fun.
Just give me one more minute. If I can't find it, I'll find it and put it down below.
Yeah, no, that's fine. I don't expect you to memorize it. I don't remember if it's in the very, very beginning or toward the end. I don't think it's in like the middle.
Well, in the beginning, it talks about the The elections for senators and representatives.
Right.
It says basically it says it shall be prescribed in each state by the legislature thereof, but the Congress may at any time, by law, make or alter such regulations except as to the places of choosing senators. So,
anyway.
so it's basically it basically says the states are responsible for their own elections.
Mm-hmm. For their own state election. Federal,
yeah,
still up to the federal to do national election.
Well,
they still run those.
States do senators and congressmen as well.
Yes, I know, but when it comes to the state the state election is run by state election laws. Federal elections are run by federal election laws. So the state election can run all their internal stuff the way they want, but when it comes to president, vice president, senators and whatever for that, they have to follow the set put out by the feds.
Right. Well, here's what I'd say. Discrimination of any kind is disgusting.
Oh yeah.
I don't care what the reason.
Because in our society there's no room for it.
Because I'm sure that if Jesus found a trans person, he would not cast him away to be out godless.
Might he be able to make him what he was supposed to be? He would do that.
He would accept him as a child of God. And to say, well, my religion says, my religious beliefs won't let me accept them. Well, are you better than Jesus?
Right.
I don't understand how they can, put one against the other. But
quite tolerant, actually, and these people are not. I don't know. I don't recognize whatever they've become. I don't know what that is. If they're not Christians, I don't know what they are. They fell for something.
Which reminds me, Marjorie Taylor Greene used to go to church. Did you know that? Then she stopped going to conventional churches in protest of the child abuse that was happening in the Catholic Church. And now she's back in churches, but not Catholic churches. She's an evangelical Christian.
Yeah. The scary
one. Which to me is like the extreme. Same thing with her politics, extreme. Same thing with her marriage, extreme. She needs some sort of thrill.
Right, chaos.
Yeah.
She needs chaos in her life. Hey, what do you say, my friend?
I see him.
No, I said, what do you say?
What I say is we need to start hounding our president and those responsible to codify the laws necessary, to pass the executive orders necessary, to do whatever is necessary to protect these groups before it gets out of hand and too far, and there's no turning back.
They have. We keep trying to separate them. They're not. Everyone has the right to do whatever they want within themselves. It doesn't matter what direction your life takes you. That is to yourself, your own. That's up to you to decide.
I'm not sure if you heard this or not, but California just added 3 more states to their travel ban for trans people.
3?
3. I think it was Wyoming,
How
Missouri.
many on the list now?
I don't. I think it's a dozen, maybe,
Jeez. Holy
because of
fuck.
laws that they passed against trans students. So no school in California is sanctioned to send any athletes to those specific states. If they do, they will not be paid with state or federal funds.
Oh wow! So it doesn't matter if they have anyone trans or not. They just can't go there.
Yeah.
I see. Wow.
Yeah.
A lot of trips to DC. You know, that's
What I'm
fine.
saying.
A lot of things in DC. Got the Smithsonian there. That'd be fun. You know,
But you
kids
got
like that.
you got to start putting your foot down like they are, and say, listen, you may say that this is cool,
Florida, yeah.
ain't gonna fly, you know.
Yeah, I totally agree with you on there, man. Yeah, that's a shame. But yeah, I mean, if they wind up not suffering because they don't get tourist dollars or other form of typical money that's like that comes from outside the state within, well, then states might begin to.
My only issue with that is at some point, I know there's got to be at least 1 or 2 students that are going to end up hating trans people because they want to go to nationals and they can't because they're in one of these states because of trans people.
Well, you know what? That's too bad.
And I thought about this a little bit today, and I said, well, they knew what the deal was before they got on the team. If they didn't, and they knew, you know, what the bans were, and if they wanted to go to these places, they should have found a different school.
Whatever. I'm going to be fuzzy for a minute. Sorry.
Well, that's okay, because I was just about ready to say, hey, let's wrap this up.
There you go. I'd like to read some comments.
Yeah, I'd like to find out what exactly people think is acceptable these days. Right. I mean, do you think that this woman, this haircutting woman, is right? Do you think that she should have that right to do that, or do you think that it's more than just a free speech issue?
Right.
So, well, with that, I'd like to say thank you again, sir. It's been real. It's been nice. And we will see you on the flip side.